You're watching the Border League on League Ready. Action humming in Las Vegas, as is always the case. And same deal this afternoon. Dynamic Prep and LABC for our third game in Vegas. And Dynamic Prep, such a solid squad, Trey, led by the 5-star Marcus Spears Jr.
Silky smooth, obviously the son of NFL former lineman and analyst, just does it all on both ends of the floor. His calling card really to me is the defensive end, but really has improved his offensive game. Remember, he only averaged 6 points per game a season ago and had a good summer this year, so I expect those numbers to double, even maybe triple.
Yeah, the numbers are the numbers, but the tape is the tape, and there's a reason why he's the #1 player in his class. But a tough opponent today. LABC, one of the best teams out of California. They offer a really difficult test.
Yeah, led by Jordan Sterling, a sharp shooter, a guy that can shoot from all over the floor. You got to guard him as soon as he gets to the parking lot. Lefty smooth, can do it all, has kind of sneaky athleticism as well.
This Dynamic Prep team, they made it to the finals of Chipotle Nationals last year, where they fell to the Boozer twins, Caden and Cam, who are now at Duke. And they are led by the 18-year NBA veteran Jermaine O'Neal, turning himself into a very polished coach as the head of this Dynamic Prep program. In addition to Spears, he's also got Spear, no S at the end. The guard, Dakari Spear, the #9 ranked shooting guard in his class, recently announced to top 5 of Texas Tech, Texas A&M, Vandy, Syracuse, and Virginia Tech. He's a sharpshooter.
Yeah, he is, and a transfer from the Colony, averaged 23 points per game, 7 rebounds. EYBL this season averaged 13 points per game, 40% field goal shooting off the bench. Very effective player.
And the #1 ranked junior, Marcus Spears Jr., starts with it and lost it in the corner. I think it tipped out off of Pierce Thompson, so we'll stay here. Dynamic Prep in the gray, LABC in the red. For LABC, 11th year head coach David Rabibo leads the charge as Dynamic Prep starts the scoring. Elton Smith with the bucket. So here comes LABC, California state champs in 2023 and 2024. Taken from the mountaintop last year, but a 31-3 record. After the miss from Thompson, here's Holden. And poked away by Spear. Good to have you with us for our third game of the afternoon here on League Ready. Sam Brief, Trey Demps, our wonderful crew in Las Vegas. And the big man, Dom Bentho, will look to get it in over Spears, who has that 7-foot wingspan. Fresh off a gold medal for Team USA at the Under-16 FIBA AmeriCup this summer in Mexico.
Where he averaged 14 games, 6 rebounds, and 17 minutes per game in limited minutes.
Almost a point a minute for Spears. A 3-ball for Holden off the front end, boarded by Spears Jr. Gets down the floor in a hurry and took no extra step. A held ball called, which will turn the ball over to LABC. So a minute in, both teams with an early turnover. And here comes Thompson ahead to Jones. Holden feeling out this defense. So much length and athleticism on that front for Dynamic. Jones with the kick. Bentho can't hit the 3. It's boarded by McGilvery. He lobs it down low for the big man. Spears Jr. with the miss. Got it right back, and he puts it in with a foul to boot.
Early on watching Spears Jr., there is no cool to his game. He is relentless, competing at a high level to start this game, no working himself into it, which you love to see. You want your best guy to set the tone, and doing a good job there, sticking with it, finishing through contact and getting the and one.
Marcus Spears Jr., the son of Marcus Spears. Now you'll see him on ESPN as an NFL analyst. Also played 9 seasons in the NFL after graduating from LSU. A 3 for Jones, a little strong. Rebound chased down by Spears and given right back to Linnekens. Then he left it way short. Here comes dynamic, quick in transition. McGilvery with the miss. These two teams are flying up the court. Thompson, up and under, no. Tip back off for Bentho. And then he fouled Spears Jr. So that back and forth rhythm, and Jermaine O'Neal looks unhappy about something as he calls timeout. Well, last year, Jermaine had his kid, Jermaine O'Neal Jr., playing with him. This fall, he'll be playing for SMU, along with fellow dynamic prep graduates Leroy Kelly at Oral Roberts, Jacoby Coleman at Sam Houston State, and Jaden Toombs also at SMU.
I mean, even at the prep level, to have all 5 of your guys go D1 in your starting lineup, as well as one bench player. I mean, that's very impressive to the program that Jermaine O'Neal has built.
This dynamic prep program started in 2022 by Jermaine O'Neal. It's a nonprofit basketball academy. In May, they announced that they're going to compete in the Overtime Elite League this season, based in Atlanta. And a quick steal out of that timeout. Alex Floyd with the finish. First bucket for LABC. So Floyd coming in from off the screen. And now dynamic prep ball. Spurlock will trigger. Had to sort a lot over at the scorer's table. Now they get it to Spurlock. Transfer from Prolific Prep up in Northern California.
Well, Prolific is moving to Florida now, which is kind of unprecedented.
Right, a cross-country move. I guess no state income tax down there. Here's Spears Jr. following, and again a chance for an and one.
And the beautiful thing about his game is, no matter if his jump shot is on or, you know, he's feeling a rhythm offensively, he will always be able to rely on this. His motor, his energy, his ability to finish around the basket. And, you know, we've seen him play some on the perimeter as he's developing that part of his game, but his calling card at the next level, at least early on, as he learns to play the collegiate game, so he, you know, has one more year after this year. You know, his calling card is to be able to rebound at a high level, defend at a high level, and be a great athlete.
Holden has it plucked away by Spear, and then a miss for Spears Jr., who lost his left shoe. Oh no, he's without a shoe. And then a block on the other end for Spear. And Spears Jr.,
no shoe.
A shot without the shoe. No footwear, no problem. Marcus Spears Jr. can really do it all. Down low, Bentho with a little strong layup. It's going the other way as Spears Jr. ties the left shoe. So here he is, one shoe, one sock, and 2 points.
Who needs 2 shoes to shoot jump shots?
Not that guy. What is he, size 18? Phenomenal stuff. You ever hit one without a shoe?
I don't think I have. I've definitely lost a shoe, but I don't know if I've ever like just knocked down a jump shot mid-game with one shoe.
It takes a lot of moxie to say, not only will I not get my shoe back on, but I'll get the ball and shoot it.
Yeah.
And swish it. Wonder if that boosts
I
his
also
ranking.
wasn't the #1 player in the country either, so.
No, you should have been. Thompson, a corner 3 ball off the mark. Rebound for Elton Smith. Quick in transition, here they go. Steven Spurlock. The 4-star out of prolific prep. An 11-2 dynamic domination so far. A 3, well short for Pierce Thompson. The dynamic has a stranglehold right now. These guys are balling. Spears Jr. the kick. Extra pass. Spurlock with a miss. Saw Thompson go flying. They'll get a dynamic prep foul. How about the muscle? Steven Spurlock says, I need 2 shoes for this.
That's a picture-perfect fast break. Get the ball ahead. A pass is always faster than the dribble. And see the unselfishness of this dynamic prep team early on. Always thinking about the best shot. Multiple paint touches on a possession. Even some of the misses that they've had have been open looks. It's been a lot of threes and a lot of layups.
And after a technical foul assessed to dynamic, Pierce Thompson has a couple free throws. He splits them. This LABC program, under the guidance of Coach David Rabibo, came to the high school ranks after 2 years as an assistant coach at the University of San Francisco. Now also coaching with USA Basketball, the under-16 men's national team. Here's a 3 and a miss for Holden. LABC has found nothing from long distance. McGilvery looking inside, instead settles for Spurlock. Here comes a screen. And thrown to press row. Gotta watch out.
It's a good defensive position by Linnekens there. A good job of fronting the post, then has to come up for the pick and roll defense. Makes his presence felt. It's good job by the big fella being active.
Here's Jones. Off the screen from Linnekens. Jones a 3, and again short. Spears Jr. skying for the rebound, but he lost it in a tussle and then taken back by McGilvery. Spurlock and dynamic with it. McGilvery. Transfer from Crowley High School in Northeast Texas. Here's a Spears Jr. triple.
That's the area that he's improved. You talked about 6 points per game a season ago, and he's going to be the focal point of this team. He's really developed himself as a 3-level scorer.
And then a rattler in for Jones. Meanwhile, Spears Jr. 10 points already, doubling up LABC by himself. But they'll get an offensive foul on dynamic prep. Well, he's the #1 player in his class for a reason. And Marcus Spears Jr. with touch.
That was a great read there by McGilvery. Came off the pick and roll, looked for his own shot first, attacked downhill, the defense collapsed. He plays off 2 feet, gets to a jump stop, and able to find the big fella for the open 3.
Floyd stuck in the corner, and he stepped out. LABC, no offensive rhythm. I mean, we're really seeing the length of dynamic prep seem to affect them.
It's a combination of high discipline defense, but also high pressure defense. And those are always the hardest defenses to play against. The ones that are going to stay disciplined, but then also can be disruptive at the same time.
Here's David Ballarain. McGilvery, catch and shoot 3. Long rebound for McGraw. Dynamic Prep has owned the glass. Hunter McGraw now gets a screen, curls off of it. Back to McGraw, 3 to shoot on the baseline drive. Ballerine flips it up and gets it to go.
Again, it's multiple paint touches in a possession. I counted 3 paint touches through the dribble drive or a post entry. It's the best way to play basketball. It shifts the defense, and you're always going to find an opening somewhere.
What a rejection by Ballerine before a foul. As Dynamic Prep is up 11. The block by McGilvery, and another for Ballerine.
This is another team that looks like they're in mid-season form.
Right?
I mean, just the connectivity on the defensive end, the ball movement offensively, the competitive spirit. Very impressive 12 minutes so far for this Dynamic Prep team.
Hunter McGraw just tossing it up. Ballerine on the glass. Spurlock just throws it into no man's land. That felt like a lost possession with Spears Jr. on the bench.
That was great help from Andre Palmer, who came over from the weak side. It was an emergency help. Saw the big fella rolling by himself unguarded. He came and put a body on him and stopped his forward process and was able to force that turnover.
Nice feed for Bentho. Got to credit the vision from Pierce Thompson. LABC looking to establish some semblance of a rhythm. Meanwhile, McGilvery drops it in. So smooth.
That's the strength of McGilvery's game. In the EYBL circuit in July, 66% of his shots were at the rim.
And then the other way, two-hand slam for Xavier Robertson. Timeout LABC. They are electric in transition.
See, fighting through the screen. Just all together in one unison on the defensive end. Connectivity, but also there's a play hard and a dog that this Dynamic Prep team has.
So when you look at them and you say, I see a team that looks like they're in mid-season form, what is it about them that tells you that?
Well, I think it's just the connectivity, I think, all around. And you see this Dynamic Prep team, they're fighting through screens, they're talking on the defensive ends, and then on the offensive end, there's a ball movement, there's a sharing, there's a, execution in the half-court sets and understanding where we want to get the ball to. And you know that you're going to play through Marcus Spears Jr., but other guys are willing to play off the catch when he kicks that ball out if the double team comes. So overall, it's a great performance on both ends of the floor for Dynamic Prep.
Spears Jr. now trickling back onto the floor. He's got 10 of their 18 points, and you see his dad at the top of your screen, Marcus Spears Sr., who played 9 NFL seasons. Now you see him on ESPN as an NFL analyst. But it's not just his dad. I mean, he's named after his dad. His mom, Aisha Spears, also played at LSU and was the number 7 overall pick in the 03 WNBA draft. Played for the Washington Mystics.
So that, who does he look like? I'm sure mom probably has a lot better advice, having been a top 10 pick. I mean, obviously you got 2 professional athletes as parents, as we see the good ball pressure by LABC. But I mean, I would probably side with mom if there's if I got to go to somebody for some basketball advice.
Right. I mean, dad's a great athlete. Dad's the guy you share a name with, but that's a football player.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what does the defensive end know about hoops, right? I mean, mom's the baller. Aisha Spears. Here's Thompson with the 3. And LABC starting to sneak back. 5-point game. Dakari Spear with a spot up three.
That was so smooth, and the circuit only shot 20% on jump shots, and so to see him step into that one confidently off the ball screen, it's a great sight for him and Dynamic Prep.
And then McGilvery with the steal. Ahead to Spears Jr., a rim rattler. 12 points.
One thing this Dynamic Prep team is going to do is force turnovers because of their length and their discipline on the defensive end. You see a nice attack off the handoff from LABC. They're going to be able to get out in transition. What I love, too, also about Dynamic Prep is their ability to kick the ball ahead with the pass. You see so many times with young players, they want to dribble the ball up the floor and then make the home run play. The best play sometimes is the hockey assist, where you get that ball up the floor and then you let the guard who catches the ball, or even if it's a big, make a play from there.
Free throw good for Holden. Thoughts on instituting the hockey assist as a basketball stat? We can call it something else.
I think you could call it hockey
LABC
assist.
foul. Yeah.
I think you could call it hockey. I think everybody knows, and there's no competition. Hockey's a great sport. Basketball's a great sport.
We're learning from you, hockey.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm kind of sick of the whole, it doesn't show up in the stat sheet. Like, let's put it in the stat sheet.
Just put it in there. Well, advanced analytics, I'm sure it's somewhere in somebody's algorithm.
It's probably called like X squared Y assist. Call it hockey. 6 to go first half. Here's McGilvery. Feed down low is tipped and out of bounds to Dynamic.
If you're Elton Smith there, just take your time. You catch that ball on the perimeter. So he's a 6'9" big, is not used to catching up there. Take your time, get a better angle, and get that ball down to the post in the high-low situation.
A three ball is good. Another one for Dynamic. Dakari Spears second. Here goes Holden to Thompson. LABC is just looking to stay competitive right now. Here's Holden. A little shimmy against the big man and throws it into the crowd.
We mentioned early that in the EYBL circuit only shot 20% on jump shots, and definitely had his highs and lows this summer, but so far it's something that he's been working on the last few months. Looks really comfortable shooting that ball from the perimeter.
Now Spears Jr. testing his luck a bit, as a foul is called on the ground against Pierce Thompson.
I don't love that shot from Spears. The dribble into the pull-up three. You can get that whenever you want. I mean, your bread and butter is getting downhill to the paint. And then if somebody cuts you off, then you can get to a balanced mid-range jumper.
Going back to LABC. You want to see Spears wait a little, see what the defense is giving him?
Absolutely. There's no reason to rush into that, especially playing on the wing. You can get downhill into the middle of the floor, get to the teeth of the defense. If they collapse, you kick it out. If not, you get all the way to the rim or shoot a mid-range.
Cash money for Pierce Thompson. Another three ball, and the perimeter shooting is keeping LABC in it. 5 to go in the first. Spear. Not this time. And out of bounds. Stay on this end.
To give LABC a lot of credit. This is a game that kind of felt like they could easily get out of hand. They've had some really good defensive possessions, even though they're a little bit undersized, and offensively they've done a really good job executing the half court. A lot of those flare screens, they've gotten some open looks.
Spurlock to Spear. Hesitation move, ripped away. Trey McNeely said, "My ball." And then McNeely, a little wild, coughs it up to Spurlock. Spurlock, Spear, alley-oop. Spears high flying to 14 points. And Thompson doesn't have the response. We got a whistle and a Jermaine O'Neal timeout. seems upset with something maybe in the transition defense.
I think it might have been because LABC has gotten a lot of guard-to-guard pin downs and flares. And that's how they've scored, is kind of that off-ball movement. And so I think he was getting on Spear a little bit for not fighting through that screen or communicating through it and allowing another open three, which LABC has scored quite a bit on through that same action.
A commitment to the craft for dynamic prep under the guidance of Jermaine O'Neal, who in his 18-year NBA career played for 7 different teams. Remember, he was one of those pioneers of making the high school to NBA transition. 17th overall pick in 1996, straight out of high school, at a time when that was virtually unheard of.
Yeah, pre-injury, I mean, he was a force to be reckoned with. I mean, was a walking 20-10 guy. Ton of great years, Portland and Pacers, and you know, it's so funny now, guys that I grew up watching having sons be top recruits. We'll see the Ratliff twins later on. I watched a lot of Theo Ratliff as well.
There's Spear with a dagger. And we mentioned Jermaine O'Neal's son. Jermaine O'Neal Jr. was on this dynamic prep team last year. Now he'll play at SMU. Driving kick action. A corner 3 off the mark. Bentho, offensive glass. Bentho put back, leads to a foul.
Now, something small, Sam, but on the other end, Spear was the one that made that jump shot. Remember, it was Jermaine O'Neal who called the timeout and got into Spear a little bit about a defensive mishap. That shows the mental fortitude of this young man that took the coaching, accepted the responsibility, and continued to play, and then made a good play on the offensive end. And it's going to come take a seat now.
Couple big jump shots for 3 in gray. And now Dom Bentho, who's fielded an offer from UC Santa Barbara, cashing both free throws. Here goes McGilvery. Reverse to Spurlock. An interior feed is picked away by Bentho.
It's a good 3/4 court front from Bentho to not allow that ball to get inside to Elton Smith.
Here's Smith, the big man, off to Spurlock. A big man who can play like a guard, but here he falls down, has it ripped away. Holden leading the break. Holden right to the can, and boarded by Spears. Looking for the big man, Spears, Spurlock, McGilvery, extra pass. The 3's off the mark. Attempted by McGraw.
And that's the third, what I call around the world possession that Dynamic Prep has had, is to the transition 3 miss by LABC, where the ball starts on one side and it's moved by the pass from 3 passes from one side to the other. It's just good offensive execution.
And Thompson blocked. McGilvery on the rejection. LABC able to get it back. Now Jones. Thompson. Jones peeling inside. Holden the 3. And rebound tips to Spears Jr. He'll fly up the court. McGilvery, the crossover move. Dynamic Prep has had a stranglehold on this one. Spurlock to the can.
And that's a good take there. He could have easily taken that open 3, but saw the lane open up, didn't settle for the jump shot, and took it downhill. But one thing that comes to mind, though, this Dynamic Prep team, the one thing that they're going to have to continue to stay confident with as we see the miss is perimeter shooting. This isn't a team that has a ton of perimeter shooters, but other teams are going to take note of that and try to force them to shoot outside shots.
Spears Jr. gets caught in traffic. We've seen some nice three-point makes from Spear tonight. Spurlock as well, but you don't have that shooter.
No.
You must key in on at all costs.
Right, right, and that makes a huge difference to have somebody like that on your roster. But there's been a lot of good teams that haven't had a knockdown shooter because it can come by committee. You got to the key is the confidence. You got to take the right ones and you got to take them confidently.
McGraw to Spurlock. He makes his move, and the running floater follows it to get it in. 15-point Dynamic Prep lead.
It's a good job of playing off at 2 feet. Wasn't able to get the floater there, but was able to stay under control, which allowed him to get that offensive rebound putback.
And with the left hand, it's pretty for McNeely. Little handsy for Alex Floyd, who's whistled for LABC foul number 3. Here at the 2025 Border League in Vegas, Sam Brief, Trey Depps, our wonderful crew with you. Final minute 10 now with the first half between Dynamic Prep and LABC. We still have not seen Joe Sterling in this game for LABC, who I know both of us had circled as a top option. Number 15 ranked shooting guard, great outside shooter, would have been very helpful in this game.
And he's the only guy on this LABC team that is ranked. Obviously, LABC has some other guys with offers, but I mean, for them to only be down 13 without a guy that important, I feel like this LABC team has done all they've could to keep themselves in this game.
It's hard to contend with this Dynamic Prep team, led by Spears Jr. and Spear. And this is a step back for Spear. That's off the mark. Offensive rebound, and McGilvery can't put it in. McGraw gets a chance now. And with the left hand, it's Hunter McGraw.
And you're seeing the size and the strength of this Dynamic Prep team really take toll on LABC. They're trying their best to keep them off the boards, but with these athletes, it can be a real challenge.
Floyd goes to work. And Spurlock a little handsy with Dynamic Prep foul number 3.
Dynamic Prep foul number 7.
Dynamic Prep has been led this evening by Marcus Spears Jr., the number 1 player in the junior class. 14 points, but also bolstered by Spears, Spurlock, McGilvery. So many athletes Jermaine O'Neal's team can throw at you. And now stolen by Spurlock, who goes coast to coast and draws the foul. It goes on Floyd.
And going back to this team's chemistry, a lot of these guys play on the same AAU team, which is in the EYBL circuit, Drive Nation. And so I think that has played a lot into why we see this team look like a well-oiled machine in mid-season form.
Because they are.
Yeah, because they just got done playing in July at Peach Jam.
You're always in mid-season form if it's always your season.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Spurlock connecting on both free throws. And so that chemistry bleeds in to the 12-month calendar.
Absolutely.
17-point lead for Dynamic. LABC can hold for the last shot. Thompson rushes in and drops it in. 5 seconds now for Spurlock. Flying up the floor. Steven Spurlock can't hit it. And we go to halftime. A 15-point advantage for Dynamic Prep. Reigning runner-ups at Chipotle Nationals, looking crisp. Looking like they've been doing it all summer. Because they have. 40-25 when we come back in Las Vegas. You're watching the Border League on League Ready. And back with the second half, Dynamic Prep and LABC. It's a 15-point lead for Dynamic Prep, which has been led by Marcus Spears Jr. #1 player in the junior class, a dominant 14 points so far. Sam Brief, Trey Demps, our wonderful crew with you at the Border League in Las Vegas as Spurlock goes to work for Dynamic Prep. McGilvery now finds Spears Jr. He's got 3 seconds to work. Spots up from 8 feet and has 16 points.
It's one of those ones you feel so bad for LABC. Great defense across the board. There's no defense for the #1 player in the country, though.
Some things you cannot defend.
You cannot defend. A 6'10" guy coming full speed, slight fade for a 15-foot mid-range jumper. Nothing you could do about that.
And it's a 6'10" guy with absolute touch as Holden misses on the other end. And now we go back to that 6'10" guy, Spears Jr. around a Spurlock. He'll go to work. And it ends up with Smith for an easy bucket. And so much size. You've got Spears Jr. at 6'10", Smith at 6'9", Spurlock at 6'6". And a foul called on the Pierce Thompson drive.
And even watching some film from them this summer, they would put Spurlock at the 4 and let Spears play the 3 a little bit. So I think that was intentional in the sense that they want to get Spears used to playing on the perimeter more often.
You think at the next level that's something he'll have to do?
I think so. I mean, he's 6'9", but it's probably going to be a little bit of both, and that's a coach's dream, because I could draw up plays for you to be on the block. I can draw up plays for you to be a pick and pop threat, but I also can draw up plays for you to put the ball in your hands and for you to go make a play. And we've seen Spears make some really good passes out of double teams.
Right, the more versatile you are as a player, the easier life is for your coach. Well, hey, I can do just about anything. Now, Dakari Spear had a couple threes in the first half. He handles it now against Linnekens, the big man. Spear with the mismatch. Step back, 3. Off the mark to Bentho.
That's what I call a wasted mismatch. You have a guy that's a center on you, that you have a speed advantage. You got to at least try to attack him unless he's playing way off of you.
Holden cashing in from 3. And he makes Spear pay for the wasted mismatch. And then Bentho says, not right here, not right now, but a foul. It's a grown man block.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Second personal foul. Teams first. Delivery to line, shooting 2.
It sends McGilvery to the line. Another highly rated player. He transferred to Dynamic out of Crowley High School, Northeast Texas. Offers have come his way from Maryland, LSU, Oklahoma State, among others.
And he's got a really long wingspan, only 6'1", but you watch his arms, man, he's almost touching his knees. I mean, that's probably a 6'5", 6'6" wingspan at least.
I mean, I see him listed at 6'1". He's playing like 6'5", 6'6". Guarding the ball right now, making life difficult for Jones. Here's Thompson. Back to Jones. LABC has struggled to get the ball in the bucket, and it's plucked away by Smith. And then right back to Thompson. Thompson with the running floater. 14 points for Pierce Thompson.
And I love that play by Thompson. You don't want to force the action against the big. Play off of 2 feet, get the steal, slow down, be on balance. Nice touch at about 10 feet. That's a shot that a lot of guards are missing nowadays.
And Pierce Thompson has shown us a lot of tenaciousness, really at times keeping LABC in the game. 14 points, inside, outside defense, kind of a little bit of everything.
He's a guy that's used to playing at a high level. plays for Team Why Not, Russell Westbrook's team. Holds an offer from Albany. Is a guy that his junior year probably wants to potentially get more offers, potentially maybe get some Power 5 offers. This is a big junior year for him.
And off to a nice start in the preseason with 14 points against one of the top 10 teams in the country in Jermaine O'Neal's dynamic prep. Hey, we're here at the Border League in Las Vegas. It's the 6th iteration of this tournament that started during COVID when basketball wasn't happening and we needed a place to have basketball happen. Started out as a pretty small potatoes tournament, and it's since grown to feature over 200 teams, scouts from almost every NBA team, media, college coaches and scouts. A wonderful event for boys and girls as Spears Jr. is fouled by Linnekens.
His timing crashing the offensive glass is well beyond his years. I mean, he just has a knack. You see him starting from the three-point line, doesn't jump too early, kind of has a sense and awareness of where that ball is going to land, and is able to utilize his length to stretch out and get the basketball. Something, again, no matter if his shot is falling or he's feeling a good rhythm on the offensive end, that's something that he can always rely upon.
I've seen in some scouting reports pro comparisons to guys like Lamar Odom and Tayshaun Prince.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
Yeah, he's one of those guys. It's hard to kind of scale. He's got a little bit of everybody. One guy that I see a little bit of is Anthony Davis.
Okay.
In a sense, just the versatility, but also kind of still a post player, an interior presence with its skill set and the offensive rebounding, and his offensive game still developing.
And body still developing,
yes.
Right? Jones for three. Off the mark, long rebound, Linnekens. And now Holden puts it in. LABC edging to within 11. And a foul on the baseline. Well, the Anthony Davis comparison is high praise as we get a look at the three from Holden. And Davis is a guy, he really filled out throughout high school.
You think about when he came to Kentucky, he was probably not even the third or fourth option on that team. He was a rim runner. He was a defender. He was a defensive presence. You know, he was a lob threat, but very rarely would you just give him the ball now like you see him now as a veteran and an NBA All-Star. You know, that had to develop over time at his time in New Orleans.
Well, if Spear can have a trajectory like that, it'll certainly be a fruitful career. That was a heck of a Kentucky squad that Davis played on the 2011-12 season. Guys like Marcus Teague, Terrence Jones, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Here's Jones squirming through, and Bentho trying to clean up. After the putback miss, it's going the other way. McGilvery. Spears Jr. high flying.
Marcus Spears.
And I love that McGilvery is constantly looking for Marcus Spears Jr. That's the sign of a really good point guard that's unselfish and the type of guy that you want on your team at the next level.
Holden with another response. And back to your point on McGilvery. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Tells me he's a high IQ player. Always looking for his man. And here he is, Spears Jr. to McGilvery. Down low with a left hand. No good for Phoenix Woodson on his first touch. Woodson finally weaseling his way into the game. You talked about when Anthony Davis was a rim runner back in the day. Here's a rim runner for you.
Yeah, that's as easy as it comes. I mean, you got a point guard that's going to spoon feed you like that. Just 1-2 steps and just throw it down.
Entering for LABC number 34.
On that previous possession for dynamic prep, you had dribble weave action into a Spain, perfectly execute. Spain being a back screen while the ball screen is going on, into a high post feed. I mean, that's not stuff that you normally see in October basketball,
No.
even at the NBA collegiate level.
Takes time to marinate, time to develop.
Absolutely. I mean, the execution
LABC foul number 34.
that this team has, you can tell. I mean, just been so impressed. I mean, obviously I'm impressed with Mark Spears Jr., but Jermaine O'Neal, the coach, probably has a chance to be better as a coach than he was even as a player. And he was an unbelievable player.
I mean, he's on that trajectory. He started dynamic prep in 2022. Last year, 34-5 record, and made it to the finals of Chipotle Nationals. And he's got 5 stars up and down the roster. He's given them NBA-like
Yeah, I mean,
coaching.
I would want my child to play this type of system.
With the left hand, it's a no for Thompson. And now the system goes back to work offensively. McGilvery charged with an offensive foul. By the way, for the next 3:43, dynamic prep is in the bonus, as LABC a minute ago committed its 5th team foul.
It's good math on the fly there, Sam.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't give me too much credit. I don't know if it's good math. Good and easy. I'll take it. Here's Jones. Now Holden spinning inside. Can't get any space against Spurlock. Jones with the running floater.
Looks like he got banged up on there. Hopefully it's a knee to knee.
And slow to get back, but he is back. And now a 2-on-0, and Holden will take it. Looks like everyone's healthy and okay.
Now about LABC slowly chipping away at this game. We saw this in the first half. We'll see how dynamic prep responds.
Not going anywhere. Just an 8-point dynamic prep lead, and LABC has ratcheted it up defensively. But back on the offensive end, Amir Jones, kind of a microwave moment.
One of the few times we've seen a miscommunication defensively for dynamic prep. It's a guard-to-guard handoff. That should be an automatic switch. And then on the other hand, turnover leads to an easy deuce.
Jones and Holden, the 2-on-0 there. If you're Jones, you're with the ball. Are you taking it yourself, or you give the free points to your teammate? Always an interesting choice.
It's always an interesting choice, and I feel like I'm gonna be totally honest. I'm taking the 2. That's just, as a scorer mentality. It's not like malicious or selfish. It's just that's just the mentality that you have as a scorer, because you also understand that my team needs me to score. So any easy opportunity I get is only going to build my confidence, which will ultimately help the team.
That was a good way to make it team forward. Because my simpleton mind is going, oh, if I'm going to be a team player, I'm giving the ball up.
It's always deeper than that, Sam.
It is. And that's why you played at such a high level. Here's Linnekins dropping it in. Back to an 8-point game. Baron Linnekins, a really interesting player, 6'9", big man, as a senior. And here's a tip off the money. And a foul on the rebound, charged to LABC, which will put dynamic prep at the line for free throws.
Good job by Robertson, being relentless on the glass here. Kind of didn't get a hand on it initially. Sam Houston State commit, also part of that Drive Nation EYBL team, so totally understands where his value and his role lies on the dynamic prep hoop squad.
He'll play for Coach Chris Mudge next year at Sam Houston State. Stay in state for the Texas-based dynamic prep program. A 9-point lead.
That's good basketball in that league. Conference USA.
There is.
Really good teams. Western Kentucky and Texas San Antonio. There's some solid clubs.
Linekin sets a screen. Holden up top. Shimmying in, lost it. Back to Dynamic. And we're seeing the level of play in a lot of those high end of the mid-major go up in both men's and women's college basketball.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things that you're seeing more at the prep level and the high school level is the transfer portal is really heavily affected where kids are getting recruited at the high school levels. We see the backdoor pass being tipped, is that you see a lot of these kids that are 4-stars committing to these mid-majors, low majors. And I love that because it's part of your development, understanding you might have the goal, okay, I stay here 1 or 2 years, develop, and then I'm ready to play at the high major level and obviously earn some NIL from that.
You're getting paid all the while. Here's McNeely slicing in. Outside for Thompson. The 3-ball. 17 points for Thompson. Hey, it's a 2-possession game.
And the guard play of this second half from LABC has been very impressive. Just more under control, doing a good job of playing with pace and handling the pressure and the length of dynamic prep.
And then Holden rips it away. Timeout LABC. And they are taking advantage with Spears Jr. off the floor. The guard play flourishing offensively.
It's a good job. That's getting a paint touch in, the defense collapse. And then you get a 3-ball from Thompson. But this is what we talked about in the beginning of the broadcast of dynamic prep, is because this team doesn't have a ton of 3-point threats. You can really pack the paint, and you can really make them a perimeter-oriented team. And we see this dynamic prep team, they have a lot of guys that are good drivers, but if you don't have somebody at the end of those possessions on drives that can knock down a 3-point shot, it can become troublesome, especially towards the end of a ball game.
But we've seen some nice touch from Spears Jr., from Spear, from Spurlock, but you're right, they don't have that guy you can really lean on. And maybe starting to cost them about halfway through the second half. Tonight, dynamic prep 3 for 8 from downtown. So
yeah,
decently efficient, but not really attempting much.
You think of modern day basketball 2025, 8 threes attempted, and what? I mean, we've played over 25 minutes. Like, that's not a lot of, like, usually at this point of the game, you're probably pulling double of that.
Last night, our game with the ABC prep, they were putting up 8 threes a minute.
Yeah.
Here's Linekin's up top. Just a 2-possession game. What a back cut. And the extra pass to Floyd, but he can't convert. Let's see if dynamic prep can get humming again. Spears Jr. back on the court. Should bring a boost. McGraw. Working on McNeely. He finds Woodson. Back to McGraw, and an offensive foul.
And even on that possession, I was noticing
A little Sean Livingston sighting. And we told you, everyone in the worlds of the NBA, college basketball coming out to Vegas this weekend. Trey, you were saying.
On that previous possession, Pierre Thompson was almost entirely in the paint guarding that role, almost out of position, because he understands that his guy is not a threat as a 3-point shooter. So that's just a small example of how teams are going to probably play dynamic prep. We see a pull-up, and now we got a 4-point game, Sam.
Dynamic prep was up almost 20 late in the first half. In a 4-point game, a foul called on Thompson, and that's right before the fouls reset. So it means dynamic prep free throws as the fouls reset at 8 minutes. What a shot here for Amir Jones.
It's a tough shot with the hand trailing behind you, going to your right, pull-up jumper.
On point. for Jones, who committed in September to play at Georgia State. And now McGraw with the front end good.
Entering for dynamic prep number 3, Dakari Spear.
Spear back into the game now for dynamic prep, so a little more shooting.
Well, I know NBA. Oh, okay.
Coming in. And second for McGraw is off. Offensive board for Woodson. Blocked by Linnekins and will stay here. So the offensive glass hustle paying off.
He wanted me to do handhelds, but he
See if they can get a touch here to Marcus Spears Jr. off this baseline out of bounds play.
I don't like handhelds. You don't like handhelds?
Steven Spurlock will pass it.
You have Alex Floyd guarding him at 6'4". So he's got about 5 inches right there. I mean, you might just want to let him go to work, but he hands it off.
Spurlock can't drill the 3. Gets the rebound off a tip. Spurlock left it short, out of bounds, and we stay again on this end. By the way, fouls just reset, so back to 0-0. Dynamic prep out of the bonus for now. And there's that lob to Spears Jr.
Go right up with it.
You were calling for it, and he gets fouled. So he'll look to make bread. Already 20 points for the #1 player in his class.
And I can't see exactly what Jermaine O'Neal, Coach O'Neal is saying, but it seems like he's saying we want that every time. If you're going to put a 6'4" guy on the #1 player in the country and Marcus Spears Jr. is a 7-foot wingspan, like we can't allow that to be a constant on every possession. Like we got to get the ball into you and you got to score and deliver for us.
And Spears Jr. does make him pay. I mean, if you have it every time, you might as well go to it. Wonder if he'll stay in for the rest of it.
Yeah, they're going to have to switch that up. And they're going with the 4-guard lineup, LABC, but that's not.
McNeely with an air ball, dynamic ball. .22 points, 10 rebounds for Spears Jr.
It's hard to believe this guy averaged 6 points per game. I understand he played with the starting lineup that all is now playing D1, but I mean, the improvement from last season to this season is astounding.
We would do dynamic prep games last year, and he was like the 7th player we circled. Now he's the #1 player in the country. Unbelievable growth this summer for Marcus Spears Jr. Step back for McGilvery. Deadly. You really liked some of his offensive game.
Yeah, he's just a high IQ guy that knows when to shoot, knows when to get his teammates involved. He's long, provides ball pressure. So see it again. Just a quick attack off the catch. Pull back dribble, nice little fade as Linnekins comes over to contest. Has good balance, good length, especially positionally at the point guard position.
And now 18 points for Pierce Thompson, who will suit up for the Albany Great Danes next year. One of the great mascots in college sports. The Great Danes of
What is
Albany.
a Great Danes?
The type of dog, the big ones. The big, lanky, big-eared dogs.
Okay.
Thompson with 19 now. I just like the specificity of it. Like, we're not the dogs, we're not the Bulldogs.
Yeah, you gotta, it's 2025. You gotta be more specific.
Be specific.
I know you can't really change mascots. You know, these colleges have been around for hundreds of years, but.
Tough shot there for McGilvery. Rebound Linnekins. Oh, you can change mascots, right? Ask your friends in Cleveland and DC.
No, that's true.
Can be done. Here's Bentho. Fouled, and you can count it. LABC will not go quietly.
It's a great high-low action there. Great recognition of the guard to understand, okay, I got to get the ball up top to get a better angle based on where Spears Jr. is playing on that high side so that the big fella can seal off and get the and one.
big passing to a big. And Bentho makes it a 4-point game. The guards of LABC keeping them in it. 6 to go. Razor thin. Dakari Spear double teamed. He's in a trap. Spears Jr. in the corner. Spurlock, the 3.
Much needed. Double team comes up top. It looks like an empty possession. You get that ball to the middle. And again, you got to be confident as an offensive player when you have an open shot.
A huge shot there for Spurlock. And now crucial LABC possession. Can't let momentum slip away. Spurlock plucks it away, but a whistle and a foul right before. Coach O'Neill protesting quite a bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be happy with that one either. I mean, that looks, man, looks like Thompson was pretty dead there, and that was just kind of a bailout call. I kind of agree with that frustration.
Oh, you know he's saying something when the paper goes over the mouth. If you won't let us read your lips, you don't want us to know.
We got to get Coach O'Neill a bigger paper to cover.
Yeah, it's barely covering. I mean, if I zoom in a little bit, I could figure it out. Yeah,
that's the biggest improvement you need to make as a coach. You're in good shape.
Right. Everything's clicking, but your paper is too small.
Your paper's too small.
What are we going, 4x6? Come on, at least let's get some 8x11 in there. They just drop a technical. The whistle blew abruptly, and the near official seemed to give like an ejection motion. Now officials are sorting things out. Something might have been said. Just kind of waiting for some official word. 7 Spurlock in the ear of the official. And let's see what happened. So watch the official right here, blowing the whistle. Looks like a technical on the bench. See, O'Neill has been yapping. Coach Rebibo for LABC was right in the ear of the official. But after the technical foul assessed to Dynamic Prep, it's Cole Holden looking to make him pay. And he leaves that one. So a 7-point Dynamic Prep lead after we sort that out. So this one getting intense, a lot of talking. And now LABC ball approaching 5 to go. A 5-second violation as Jones took too long.
That seemed pretty quick. But give Dynamic Prep credit. That's a
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Lightning fast. McGilvery to Spear. Rumbling in. Fall away shot. Out of bounds to LABC.
I love the move. Playing off 2 feet, get to a Dirk fade, but it's one of those $1 million move, 50-cent finish.
Yeah, that Dirk fade is $1 million move. You've seen McGilvery execute a couple of those on that baseline. 5 to go, 7-point game. LABC hanging in it.
Speaking of McGilvery, how about this ball pressure here?
All over Thompson. Now Holden on the baseline. 5 to shoot for Jones. Defended by Spears Jr. Gets it over him. Offensive board, Linnekins makes it a 5-point game.
If you're McGraw there, you have to just X him out. You can't worry about getting the rebound. If you have a mismatch, you got to get Lineikens just completely out of the play, knowing that you're not going to get the rebound, especially because you know it's the end of a shot clock and that ball is going up.
This two-big lineup for LABC has bared some fruit when you have Lineikens and Bentho in to counter the length of dynamic prep. McGilvery the miss, and the miss on the follow for Woodson. Here's Holden. Kick. A three for Jones.
Wow.
Yes! 2-point game.
That's the second time Jones has scored and gone down hobbling a little bit.
He's taken a beating, but rising to the occasion down the stretch. Here goes Spear on the baseline, left it short. LABC can tie it or take the lead. Thompson moseys in, we're tied at 60.
Wow. How about the resilience of this LABC team? Now all the pressure is on dynamic prep.
Woodson's blocked, and they'll get Lineikens for the foul. It's a 7-0 run for LABC. First, this three-pointer from Jones, and then the hobble. But then it's Pierce Thompson, team high 19 points, and he tied it.
All this without Joe Sterling, their SC Next top 100 player, the only one on the team.
Well, in our first game, we saw on the girls' side, CBC win by 22 points without their best player. LABC looking to accomplish a similar feat. So the free throw for Phoenix Woodson ends a 7-0 LABC run. They were down 60-53 just a couple minutes ago.
If you're Coach O'Neal, this is where you want to see your best player, Marcus Spears Jr., demand the basketball, right? Call a play for me, get me on the block, and let me go to work.
22 points for Spears Jr., also 22 for Thompson. Can they tie it again? Holden. Finding the red-hot Thompson. Goes inside for Bentho, working on Spears Jr. The hook shot defended very well by the #1 player. And then a foul on Lineikens. It's the 4th team foul on LABC. Both teams with 4, so next foul for either side will mean the bonus.
If you're LABC on the offensive end, you got to understand where you've had the advantage. It's been the guard play. It's been the dribble drive, high pick and rolls, attacking the defense. You know they have that two-big lineup, or they've had the two-big lineup. You still want to put the ball in your playmaker's hands.
And here he is, the playmaker, Spears Jr. with a gimme bucket.
Every single time, that ball should end in number 24's hands.
And he's got 24 points. Holden to McNeely. The three left it short. Rebound to McGraw. And at 2.5, dynamic prep. Retaking some momentum.
And they got the mismatch inside. Got McNeely on Spears.
McNeely only 6'2". Spears at 6'10". Comes outside to set a screen. And now McGilvery bounces it for the big man. Here's another big man, Smith, the hook. Boarded by Bentho.
Again, respectfully to Smith, when he dumps in there and tries to get the ball, I'm telling him to get the heck out of the way and let me go one-on-one, because I just scored from the high post.
Now in the low post, Jones the miss, but a foul call on McGraw will send him to the line and put LABC in the bonus. We've seen Jones hobbled quite a bit. That right leg. See him limping on the baseline.
Now you wonder what it is, because I mean this is the 3rd time now that he's come down hobbling, and let's say minimal contact, but it doesn't seem like anything out of the ordinary. And even on the free throw, he's hobbling.
But still hitting shots. The big three a couple minutes ago. And that free throw makes it a one-possession game. The Georgia State commit, Amir Jones. 2-point game. Dynamic Prep was leading 40-25 at halftime. Since then, 37-19 run for LABC.
One thing we haven't mentioned, a lot of these guys on LABC are state champions, multiple state championships. So you can never, it's a cliche, you can never underestimate the heart of a champion.
LABC state champs in California 2023, 2024. And now they put Dynamic Prep into bonus. Foul called on Thompson, which was also his 5th individually. One more means he would foul out. LABC's top scorer. Big free throws here, and the first one good for Dakari Spear. Spear makes it a 4-point game. Big possession here. Who do you lean on?
You've got to put the ball either Jones or Thompson's hands and let them make a play. I see a cross screen happening, but I want to get the ball to one of my playmakers.
Well, here's Thompson. A team high 22 points. Back to Holden now. 3 ball is a bit short. Rebound to McGilvery. He pushes the tempo. Lob it up. Smith can't connect. Spears Jr. fouled on the putback. At a minute 14, more freebies coming.
Kind of a strange play here.
Yeah.
Smith kind of lost control of it. Did a good job of recognizing Spears right there to help him out. Kind of tipped it over to him.
Now Coach O'Neill, conversation with Spear. You say he might be now better as a coach than as a player. Meanwhile, 25 points for the game's top scorer, Marcus Spears Jr.
So I'll tell you one thing, Sam. I'm not around this program every day, but I can guarantee you that every single one of those guys respects Coach O'Neill. And whatever he says is law. And there's just, you can tell by the way that they play, too. There's just a discipline to this team that's refreshing in this day and age.
A hustle, a polish. They've got it. A 3 for Bentho, off the mark. Rebound bobbled by a few, and out of bounds to Dynamic Prep. And then the VAR official rushes in, gets in the ear, and says, hey, let's change that call. Looked like he had a better angle at it. And it's LABC ball. Okay, so crucial possession here for the Wolverines. Jones, the hobbled guard, gets it up top to Holden. Looking for Thompson, now Jones with 3 seconds. Fall away 3-pointer. Off the mark and rebound. Tracked down by McGilvery. And he was fouled. So more free throws for McGilvery, and now a chance for Dynamic Prep to start to maybe put it away.
That was a key defensive possession for Dynamic Prep. Is multiple efforts. Thought it was good execution by LABC's part. You try to get a flare screen to free up a shooter, follow that up with the ball screen. Multiple actions happening. And Dynamic Prep did a great job of talking through all of it and continuing to stay locked in to get that defensive stop.
Entering for LABC #1, Trey McNeely.
And now McGilvery at the stripe.
Number 2, Camden McGilvery.
Guard with slew of high major offers, who I know you've been really impressed with his understanding on the offensive end. And he just nails the first free throw.
One of the hardest things to teach think for young guards is time and score. Understanding the moment of the game, and that's kind of an intuitive feel of when to shoot, when to be aggressive, when to get your star players involved, and that's something that McGilvery has.
Got to rush your LABC, and Jones rushes his way to a miss. Out of bounds, will stay on this end. 29 seconds, down 7. You need a perfect final 29.
This is where you got to get a 3, and any opening that you get, you got to be able to be confident and take it to try to cut this thing to 4.
Amir Jones will trigger it. LABC was down 15 at the half and cut this to a tie game just a couple minutes ago. A crucial pass here for Jones. Lobbing for Bentho. He couldn't corral it. Spears Jr. takes it away. Now they're on the ground, and a timeout called just in time by Dynamic. Well, Spears Jr. defensively, he will just take it from you.
It's just good all-out hustle, understanding that it is winning time. And if we get a stop right here, we're more than likely going to win this basketball game. So it's a great all-out play there by the #1 player in the country.
Marcus Spears Jr., an incredible summer on the EYBL circuit and with Team USA, winning a gold medal at the FIBA Under-16 AmeriCup, where he traveled to Juarez, Mexico. And if he continues at this trajectory, he will go all over the world as one of the best in the world.
He surely has a chance. I mean, he surely has a chance to be a guy that can be one of the top guys at the highest level. Think about NBA All-Star. I mean, that should be where he's aiming for. But you can tell he's in the right ecosystem. See the leadership right there.
Yeah.
You know, one day at a time, he's gonna continue to improve and be a heck of a player. He's got one more year after this year, the high school ranks, unless he reclasses, and then probably 1 year in college, and we're gonna be seeing him at the highest level of the NBA.
You can book it. Ahead to Spears Jr., and he was fouled by Bentho. Bentho took an awkward twist to the ground. And back to that last timeout, I look at the body language in that huddle. I see Spears Jr. in the middle of the huddle, clapping his hands, imploring his teammates. Eyes up, looking at everyone. That's a leader.
It's a sense of urgency. You know, there's no contentment. You know, we've seen in the past guys who have heralded that #1 ranking. I think he's a guy with the foundation that he has with his father and his mother. Understand that it really doesn't mean anything. He still has improvements to make in his game. He still has goals to accomplish in terms of the prep season this year and his 2 more years of high school. So it's great to see this young man have his head on straight, and also just to see the talent and him continue to develop.
Misses both free throws, leaving the door open, and Jones drills a 3. 4-point game now, got a foul quick. And they do. Floyd on Spear. So back to a 4-point game. This LABC team, give them credit, they will not go quietly into the night. And it's Jones again.
Man, just when you thought.
He's been hobbled, but not affecting him at all. First free throw. Stick it.
What do they say? The best medicine is that orange ball.
You feel the leather, you feel the grooves and the bumps. Can cure anything, right? Both free throws good, and lead is 6 for Dynamic Prep. Last gasp time. Jones the 3, not this time, they're out of gas. And Dynamic Prep gets a scare this evening from LABC,
End of the ball game.
but the powerhouse from Texas with a 6-point win.
LABC.
And it starts with and ends with number 24, Marcus Spears Jr. An incredible performance. Took over on both ends of the floor down the stretch of this game. Also with McIlvery, McGraw, Spurlock, great performance by Dynamic Prep.
All about the number 1 junior in the land, though. Take me through this 25-point, 10-rebound performance. Dominance on both ends.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that's just going to outplay you in terms of his energy and his effort to go along with his talent that's continuing to improve and rise. And so he is going to be the guy across the nation at the high school ranks that all eyes are going to be on, and a great start here by the number 1 player in the country.
And we got one more later tonight. AZ Compass against the New York Crusaders. Alongside our wonderful crew, producer Ryan Kowalski, Nicholas Viverman on the replay, Mason Dover on the graphics, Statman Quad Diawo, my partner Trey Demps, I'm Sam Brief, saying adios for now, and one more to go.